Hello traders, Cory Mitchell, TradeThatSwing.com. This is your swing trading stock market outlook for the week of September 22nd. Overall, I go through the same process each week, just helps me determine how aggressively I want to be trading. And yeah, things have been good and things are still good at the moment. There are some watch lists up there. This one, I refreshed it this weekend, and I'll be updating it probably early in the week to see if there's anything new that's popped up. There's still some ones to watch on there. There's also the best swing trading stocks list for September. That's high momentum stock names. Let's take a look at the indices. Everything's still uptrends, really strong, and yeah, pretty much all smiley faces there. Canadian index, same thing, just up, up, up. The gold miners, up. Gold, up. Bitcoin, struggling a little bit here. So we had talked about this here. So it had this big range here. It broke out. And this is what I like to see. I like to see it hold outside the range. Then we broke down into this old range. So now here we basically have a new range. And we broke into it, and then we moved back up into this range. So I'm basically long right in this area here, and how I'm kind of looking at this as this needs to move up to the upper end of that range. If it falls over there, I'm out. I want to see it bust through, break through, and hold. If it breaks back in, if it breaks out and then breaks back in, I'm out. And right now, if this, I'll probably give it down to, kind of break even-ish or a little bit below. But if this starts breaking back into this old range down here, I'm not interested. I'll be out. So it's basically in, see how it acts. If we shoot up to the top, great. We'll see how it acts up there. We break out, we see how it acts there. And yeah, it's moving okay, but a little bit sluggish compared to some of these other things. Market health indicators. So this is looking at a little bit more under the hood of what's going on. And let me move myself there so you can see what these indicators are. This is volume along the top. It's not important to me at the moment. I look for it more after a decline and seeing volume tick up as we start moving up if we have a big up day, but right now, not relevant to me. Rate of change, this is simply kind of a measure of volatility, I guess you could say. It's the daily percentage movement of the S&P 500. You can see here, during uptrends, very much low volatility. You don't have these big sell-off days. So I have a little red line here at minus 2%, and you can see we're well above that band. The upper one I don't care about. But you can see pretty quiet price action, and that's correlated with uptrends. You look over here, downtrends, it starts even before. You usually see this start an uptick in volatility, or it starts off with a really big down day and stays more volatile. And over here, downtrends, obviously much more correlated with big selling days, high volatility. So I don't want to be going long when I'm seeing this. I want to be going long when I'm seeing this type of thing. That's one of the indicators. Advanced decline line, advancing stocks minus declining stocks is a cumulative number. And you can see it is just pretty much up, up, up. Tailing off a little bit here, but wouldn't be anything I'm too concerned about yet. It's, smiley face. Up volume divided by total volume, it's just neutral. This would be relevant if I'm looking for extreme values. I actually don't have this scale. You should be able to see up to about 90 or 100 here. And I'm looking for very high values of 90, which are very high upside days, meaning 90% upside day would be when 90% of the volume that occurred that day occurred in stocks moving to the upside. And I'm interested in that after a low or after a decline. So this one was a 90% upside day here. 95 or 96, I can't remember. But it was a huge upside day. Those can potentially mark bottoms. Now that we're in a big uptrend, I don't care about upside days. Now the danger sign would be if you saw a 90% downside day. So that would be like this indicator would be way down here at 10 or below. And that means 90% of the volume that occurred that day occurred in stocks moving to the downside. That would be a potential scary point, or a point where it's like, hey, okay, maybe we're going to back off, see what happens here. And most likely it would be a 2% down day as well. Not all the time, but pretty common that it would be a day like this, where you have the big sell-offs that would instantly just back us off. But right now, we're not seeing that. Low volatility, nothing. That's just neutral. So that's explaining what would happen. If we got a 90% downside day, that would be a signal to back off. Percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average, we're hovering right around that kind of 60% mark. So the all U.S. stocks, 62% of them are above their 50-day, and S&P 500 stocks, 56% are above their 50-day moving average. And yeah, so that says most stocks are in a quasi, the 50 days, nothing magical, but it does say, hey, these stocks are in kind of a quasi uptrend. And so overall, conditions pretty good. Much easier to make money on the long side when most stocks are moving up, when most stocks are above their 50-day. As you can see, this indicator's done pretty good. It kind of gave us a little scare here, but we've been, after that, we've been just fine. So what am I doing right now? Looking for longs in stocks. I did it again. Looking for longs in stocks. Gold remain areas of strength. Long Bitcoin, as long as it holds in that higher range, I basically want to see it continue to pop, and I'll see how it acts at the top of that range. If it sells off, we're already in a range, so I'm not going to just buy and hope that it breaks through there. If it starts getting rejected at the top of that range, I'll be out, because there's always the option for me to get back in if it does break out and act strongly above that range. Then I can get back in. So that's your outlook for this week. Happy trading.